Credit union people, community bank people, they're just good people. It's really rewarding to go across the country and see different institutions that have applied what we're doing and they've grown, that they've thrived, not just survived.
This is why we get out of bed every day, is to help credit unions win, survive, and thrive. Everybody does. They have a heart and a passion for it.
And when I see CEOs who are buying into this, and that's when the magic happens.
You've got to get your team to buy into it, and your team have to keep it going. After you wait, you're screaming up and down with joy, saying, finally, here it is, yes, oh my goodness, it worked.
Many times, credit unions and community banks think they have a liquidity problem, they have a loan problem, they have a growth problem, they have a deposit problem. It is all integrated. The pieces, branding, marketing, training, leadership, all that is interwoven. If any of those pieces are weak, or if any of those pieces you can't deliver, your brand, ultimately, your credit union or your community bank will suffer because of it.
We wanted to take the credit union to a new level for the staff and for the membership, but didn't really have the skill set.
You can hire a lot of companies that are just branding companies, strategic companies. You can hire just a creative company. That's all well and good. We're able to do all of that under one umbrella to really give you an overarching approach.
When we started with On the Mark Strategies, it was pretty simple. We just want to know where we were with our marketing. Probably a solid 10 years ago, how that relationship has evolved is that our problem now really was leadership. We really wanted On the Mark Strategies team to help us understand how to move our leadership team forward.
Marketing is always a challenge because A, there's never a big enough budget, B, there's never a big enough team.
Marketing touches everything. If you solve for marketing and branding, you often solve for many of the other things that you're challenged with today.
We needed someone that could help develop structure for us, help us set those objectives, and to develop a plan for the credit union. And On the Mark Strategies came in and simplified that process for us.
You really need to have someone from the outside give that help and guide you through the process.
A lot of credit unions have very small marketing departments, and if you think about it, they're really competing against not just other credit unions, but against banks as well. And banks have millions and millions of dollars. You can actually do more damage to your brand, or you can actually lose members because you're not keeping up with what other people are doing marketing-wise.
We allowed another company to design our website, and that experience was horrible. On the Mark Strategies was really able to help bail us out of that situation, and in the meantime, we've only grown our relationship even further.
John Maxwell famously writes, everything rises and falls based on leadership. So if your leadership is weak, if you don't have a strong leadership team, or if you have mid-level managers who are not rising above, then guess what? Your brand is going to suffer. If you don't have a brand that is different, then you're not going to grow.
One of the words that Mark uses all the time is frenemy. Many of us at On the Mark Strategies are former credit union folks. You prick our fingers, we're going to bleed credit union blood, but we're also going to push and challenge you like an enemy to get you to the right place.
We've already got a timed outline by Sean from On the Mark Strategies that just kind of tells us who's got to do what by when, so we can stay on track. And it's a refreshing approach because when your business partner On the Mark Strategies kind of helps shape that structure, it makes our lives easier because we still have a credit union to run.
The team at On the Mark Strategies is exceptional. I feel very humbled to have been chosen to join the team. It was a lengthy interview process. That's because Mark wanted to make sure he was finding someone that not only had the credit union experience, the marketing and branding and strategic planning experience, but that really understood the culture of On the Mark Strategies.
On the Mark Strategies is not about Mark Arnold. It's about our team and the solutions that we provide to help you grow. It's about the process and the people, not the founder. Our folks are the ones who are delivering it day in and day out. And to work at On the Mark Strategies, you need to be an A player. You need to bring it every single day.
Everybody has such a passion for what we're doing. And I think it goes back to our own training that we provide for credit unions. And I can say that the entire On the Mark Strategies team is 100% aligned.
Everybody in the company is encouraged to think like an owner. And it really makes you think differently as an owner versus an employee.
They crave to move the needle that way. So when you have everybody in the boat rowing in that same direction to that single point on the horizon, you can really achieve anything.
To be honest, we haven't had anything that's ever gone wrong. Their communication, their customer service is top notch.
We're bringing a lot of people to the table. We're bringing account managers, writers, designers, creative directors. We're bringing the SEO team to the table. If you had to go out and hire all those people, you couldn't do it on a small budget.
The toughest part about my job is just trying to remain relevant. We're a small community-based financial institution and there's lots of big competitors. And so we're always trying to figure out how do we stay relevant in our marketplace.
Because at the end of the day, we want to be able to impact the leaders, the managers, and the staff at those institutions, because when we help them grow, then they're impacting the consumers and they're impacting their communities. Because when they're growing their brand, when they're growing their strategy, when they're growing their people, then that has a ripple effect to the entire communities they're serving.